everybody. Paul, I'm sure all of us told you our condolences go out to you. Sorry about your passing. Can I go ahead and call the meeting to order and ask you, Paul, if you do the invocation? Confirmation of the agenda, modifications, any modifications? None. Recognition of, yes, Miss Kimberly. I think Miss Kimberly's from, here in Gordon, Pickett, no.
Gilmer.
County. So she's gonna check, see what you do here, since you're here in Gilmer County. And glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
LIA Reports.
Well, I guess I'm the only local issuing authority present today. One of the things that I do want to report to you, in case you are not aware, our E&S plans moved back in December from Calhoun to Athens. And since that time, we have submitted 40, actually 39 E&S plans. And at this point, you know, everything is working well. The one thing that I would encourage Limestone Valley doing, I mean, we have been jerked around on E&S plan reviews. Now, I've been back in planning and zoning for about 2.5 years, and we're now in our third location. What I would prefer to see, and I'll assist, is that our E&S plan should be reviewed by this district. And I know it takes staffing to be able to do that, but I encourage Ricky, you as staff, and you all as board to let's get these E&S plans settled down in one location. It should be in the district that we're located in, and quit jerking the LIAs around.
I agree with that, but that's gonna be coming from the legislature.
Well, it comes from a budget.
Yeah.
And I don't know what process you go through when it comes budget time, but I would strongly encourage us doing that, because we're supposed to be about conservation and things of that nature, and I'm a firm believer in trying to keep things closer at home. And I understand the staffing problems that Calhoun had. Prior to that, it was NRCS. Now we're in Athens. And so when it comes budget time again, if we need staffing, then let's ask for it, you know.
Yeah, but it goes back probably before you, when they cut everything, they cut several million out of it, then it was over a green book back several years ago, and, you know, they just cut everybody out. Anybody got any comment on that from, of course, they didn't cut, well, NRCS kinda took us over, or didn't take us over, but get our funding from federal, where it always been state. And, I look for that funding to even go away. I see less funding for us coming forward than we have now.
Well, I'm a firm believer, if you don't ask, you don't get it. You know,
But
you
that-
gotta ask.
Yeah, but that comes from the legislators. Rick Jasper would be the first one to.
So let's, whoever the head is, let's go to it.
Well, again, that was, Dale's the one that cut it off. Yeah, back, that's been 10 years ago, then, I guess. We're redistricting and everything, just reorganized under Dale, and then it's not been, very helpful since then. It wasn't for the NRCS. But anyway, take note of it. I wish we did get more funding. Adoption of the minutes. Do you hear a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Treasurer's report.
Yes, sir. Got an up-to-date, what we've got in our accounts. Then I've got something else I want to follow up on. CTAP at this particular time is $10,042.69. Gene, I'll give you this paper if you need it. Model farm account, $16,901.40. And our pipe account, the fluctuates pretty heavily here lately. $23,974.56. Now, to give you all a heads up, about a little over a month ago, I informed the Hint Milling to hold off on buying any more pipe till we come to some sort of conclusion on what we want to do with sponsoring the funding for pipe for Hint Milling. Right now, best I can find out, when we pay for the pipe, they sell it for us, they get 64% of the profit, we get 36% of the profit. I had them to do a inventory check. Now this has been back in last part of February, and this is what they give me on what they had. I'll be glad to give it to you. That's all I've got. Now since then, of course, the pipe has been going out, and they've been putting money back in our account, which is up now to $23,000. Me and Don have talked, and hopefully the board needs to be aware of. There is some sort of an unwritten contract that Limestone Valley has got with Henning Milling in regard to drainage pipe, gravel pipe, farm pipe. And we don't know how far back it goes. There is nothing in writing. They order the pipe, and then we pay for the pipe, then they sell it for us. My question is, why are we getting in the middle of retail sales and all this? Why not Hint Milling just buy their own pipe and resell it and get us out of the loop? And because there's no way, I have a problem with all this, it's hard to, you can't document it. So I'm kind of in the catch-22 on how you want to proceed with this.
I got a question, back to you said you had 23,000 and change.
I've got, right now, as of, here it is, as of, March 31st.
All right, but in February when we met, we had $30,000 of change there. Where'd that
I had them to hold up, but what they did, they went ahead and ordered a bunch more pipe, and then they called me and needed a check. And I said, I told y'all to hold up. So I've got to stop. I said, stop till we come up with a solution to
I'm
the
curious
issue.
where that money went. They
Yeah.
bought more pipe.
They bought more pipe.
Well, I think we brought this up before.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody opposed to it, of maybe trying to get out of this or
Kind of wind it down.
wind it down. That was kind of what we talked about in February. And I didn't see why not.
I would say, personally, I'd like to see what one way or the other. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing, or get out of it. And like I said, there's no written contract. I'm just going with what they told me. We've inherited this thing, what goes on, and I'm not comfortable with it. And with everything going in the political, we're getting, see, a lot of these funds are federal funds, and it's just a matter of time, we could get off one of these days, and I ain't got, that's all I got. So, next interesting, so what's y'all's pleasure?
A lot of loose ends there.
Yeah.
Here, motion to wind it down.
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Here, a second.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Are you gonna take a current inventory, or how do you?
Only thing I'm gonna do is request a current inventory and let them see what we've got. Go ahead and let
Let
them,
them
well,
sell it out.
let them go ahead and sell it out and give us, put money back in our account, then we've got that money in the account.
Rob, I just asked if when you talk to Hinton, is that right?
Richie Hancock, yeah.
Yeah, if you talk to him, just make sure there's no hard feelings, we're not.
No, he
Everything's been
understands.
great, and this may come back up 2 years from now that we might wanna do it for some reason, but explain to them, I hope you've already explained to them
I
why.
did, and I told
It makes
them
sense for us to do
The
this.
way the politics is working out here nationwide, not only state of Georgia, but I said we could get audited any time, and it kinda sucked the air out of the room. So he understands what we're looking at, he don't wanna have to go through all the paperwork for auditing for back, who knows how many years. Let's go ahead and I'd say cut the ties and proceed on.
They haven't had this thing that long, have it? Wasn't it here in Jena?
It was here with Ellijay.
Ellijay.
They took over under the same.
They've had.
It's been 10 years, I guess.
Yeah, longer than that.
But we don't know where we stand.
No. I mean, we'd go back and see what when they took over, what the county had in it, and we delivered a bunch of pipe, but, you're really not gonna know until the end.
We just ask you to get something in writing when this all goes down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope we get something in writing, because I don't know if he'll sign anything or not, because like I say, there's no paper.
There wasn't nothing signed. When we started, we just kinda took over.
Mhm.
So just to clarify for the minutes, the motion was for y'all to just dissolve your involvement in this program.
With the pipe
right?
program.
With the pipe program with Hinton Milling,
Well, they get rid of a program of pipe altogether.
yeah.
Till we started back then.
Yeah, if people wanna build whatever they wanna build, they can just go buy the pipe from somebody, from hardware or whatever,
It ain't like there's not around anymore.
yeah.
When it first started, it probably was, plus a lot of that pipe started off with these watershed dams, that's where a lot of pipe comes.
It could have been,
Big drainage fields.
Yeah, and we've got another district so pipe, they had their pieces off many years ago.
mhm.
I mean, they're just using our money and we're getting paid.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
The best time we had is when Charles
Charles,
Cowper had it.
yeah.
And if he sold it, he put it on his books, paid us, and if they didn't pay him, he'd have luck.
Yeah. I don't,
It's,
But yeah, I think it's good, so we'll go ahead and start winding that down then. Any other questions on it? If not, erosion and sediment control plans, how many do we have?
You got 40 altogether, 30 were approved, 10 were denied.
They must have got started by getting paid by the ones that be approved. Now, usually about 50-50.
So, Ricky, I'm confused. What is that? Now, I had 40 myself that I submitted to Athens. This is what you're still reviewing?
Yeah, and we don't get all yours.
You don't get any of mine now?
No, I'm talking about, we don't get any of this report, they probably all show up at one time. But
This is what it comes back.
Yeah.
After they've reviewed.
After the review come back, yeah. And we know 40 probably all showed up on that one yet, it may show up next time.
And I won't see Whitfield County on here, right? 'Cause
No,
they're-
Whitfield County got their own MOA.
Yeah, a lot of them. Cherokee went to the MOAs, didn't it?
What kind of plans are you reviewing for Gilmer County, Bud?
Oh, we reviewed none of those. This is the A&S plans, this is comes from Athens. Okay?
Oh!
Okay.
So you're submitting the same thing that Athens reviews?
No, this is Athens, this is what Athens reviews, and they send it back to the district to get it approved or not.
Ah,
The district
I
has
see.
to sign
Oh,
out on every
okay.
one of them, okay?
All right.
Make you feel better?
Yeah.
Okay. No, we're not doing the Gilbert County plans at the present. All right.
Did you hear a motion to approve? Plans?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye? Miss Jena,
Yes.
partner report,
Yes.
GSWCC.
Well, I'm so sorry I was late today. I do respect y'all's time, so I apologize. As y'all have probably noticed on your agenda, I did a new logo for y'all, a new letterhead. If you don't like it, it can be changed, but I just thought it might be time for a little upgrade, or update rather. I know Ricky has passed out the NRCW brochures, so y'all please just spread the word about that. If you know of any rising 10th through 12th graders, please let them know about it. I have spoken with Trey recently. I don't know how many of y'all are aware, but his dad is dealing with some unfortunate health issues. So my thought was to, and this is totally up to y'all, so it's just whatever y'all prefer, but I thought about making a flyer for interest in getting another hog control custodian. And y'all can post it here or just other places around town, wherever y'all think is best. And just the flyer would specifically say trap and kill on site, just so anyone that's interested understands what is required. So if that's something y'all are interested in, we can do that. I know if y'all know of someone, obviously that's better, but I thought this might be a way of getting interest, and then y'all can still vet whoever you have that's interested, so.
I think we may have somebody, I know they go to South Carolina to try to kill something, pretty
But
often.
I'm old, I can't stay up past 9 o'clock.
I'm old, okay.
We got my hopes up here,
Yeah, I mean, how did you know I was speaking of you?
Well, nobody else is crazy enough to go to South Carolina. And Mike does on occasion. So, but now Trey is still doing, he's our.
Yeah, he's still y'all's custodian for right now, but I didn't know if he would still, I know he was talking about, if he's willing to be the custodian, but he was thinking about having someone, kind of act on his behalf, if that makes sense.
We had talked at some point about maybe in May-ish or something, or sometime we would try to have some type of workshop about hog control. I figured we might get
Yeah.
interest there if we ever decide to do that.
That, yes, it's gonna be probably actually in the fall. And that's something that GACD coordinates. We'll have speakers from, USDA, their Wildlife Resources Program, and, UGA, we have all our speakers, so that'll be later this fall. So yeah, that will be a good way to get interest, but with that, because we do have, it's a pretty big program with so many different speakers, we gotta plan it a little further out, so.
So, best I understand, for you that guys that may or may not know that weren't here in February, so Trey Hasty did sign up to be a custodian for hog tracking. For our district, if you're really anywhere, Trey is for Whitfield County, but, he volunteered, wanted to help, but I think he realized there's a lot of work to it too, so I think I'm gonna try to get him a name of a young man that would be interested in maybe using the equipment, let Trey set up, show him how to do it or whatever, and try to do that. And I think the same would be like if in Gilmore County, which I understand there's hog issues here, some college kid or a young person that's wanting to say, I wanna do that. We have the trap. The trap's been purchased. I don't know if it's been delivered yet to Trey. But Mark Land was gonna train him and show him all that. So that trap would be available. And if it's not being used somewhere, Trey can get it into the hands of somebody to do it, even though Trey is the custodian and all that. But anyway, so it's still out there. If you know the landowners that are complaining about hogs.
Yeah, I had a landowner that contacted me, but it was before Trey became a custodian, and then I've had some other folks mention, if we needed a custodian, they knew some people that they thought would be interested. But I wasn't ready to go any further with it until I knew.
Well, last in February, we had, Rollins Jolly was here with the, US Forestry, and, he showed a lot of interest in it because they're having, that's a federal, agency, and they're having a lot of trouble in the Dakota wilderness and kind of whatever, I can't remember which one it was. with hogs, and he brought up something, see if I remember correctly, that I did not think of. He said, well, yeah, we got hogs on the Dakota Wilderness. A private person can't go on the Dakota Wilderness and trap hogs. Just like we as federal government, we're trapping them, we can't go to private land and do it. So he thought a partnership with what we do with private individuals, you know, that we align, you know, federal government forestry land right here, and we're trapping, but all the hogs run over here in Mrs. Smith's property, and we can't go there, but together, we might can trap a lot more hogs with us working the private sector and then working the, yeah, so, anyway, so Trey kinda, I don't know if I held his hand up or not, but he volunteered, and he agreed to take on the thing. You know, it's very popular in the South, middle of South Georgia, of course, with a lot more hogs, a lot of, Mark Land is our GACD hog man. And he's the one who controls it, handles it all, and, GACD funds 90% of the cost of it. And each district is like 10%. So I think we voted to do $300 and boom, got a trap. And they got all some kind of statistics about, you know, how much damage each hog causes and how fast they breed, and they were throwing numbers out, how much diseases they carry. I did learn some stuff last February of that year, so. Anyway, I'll quit talking about it. Just wanted to bring everybody up to speed, the best I understood it.
And on that subject, I emailed y'all an invoice for your 10% cost of your hog equipment, so that amount is $294.77. So, I have a copy of it here. I should have printed it, but I didn't, so if I could get y'all to approve that.
Yeah, motion to approve the $294.77.
So moved.
All in favor, aye.
And that's from y'all's local funds.
Which one you were renting from?
Oh,
Pop account, or the CTAP account, or the model farm account?
we can use our, state funds on this, can we?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay.
You wanna do state?
Yeah. That's why I brought the calculator for today.
You got Trump stamp?
What was that, 294?
$294.77. And then, so thank y'all for that, and then just the last little bit of my partner report. The annual meeting is gonna be August 17th through 19th at Jekyll Island Club, so make plans to attend that. And then the last thing is, in light of everything going on at the federal level with the executive orders and stuff, GACD has been sending out weekly updates of how the federal changes are impacting conservation, so just stay tuned for those emails coming out from Katie on Fridays, so.
Can I ask you a question? Because I'm sure we've all got where they wanted us to fill a survey out. How, could you kind of just, how is it affected on your end?
Well, so for us specifically at GACD, not too much. We don't have any agreements that were impacted by those executive orders. I know Holden might be able to speak better as far as, you know, staffing and things like that. If you want to take it.
I'll tackle that in my report, but yeah, we had a DC meeting, a couple days ago, and they said they were gonna be looking to cut 80 people in Georgia and get back to 2019 staffing levels for us. And we're gonna start at the bottom instead of the top, which I don't agree with, but, that discussion motivated my, employee, Rachel. She was one of my probationary employees that got sent home and then brought back. She took the deferred resignation program, so she's gonna be with me for another week basically, and then she's gonna be, pretty much gone. So that'll just leave me and Colton in the office. And that's, I don't know, they haven't announced who they're gonna fire. They are pushing the probationary employees that got brought back to take that resignation, which the deadline was yesterday. I don't know who all took it, but, if they've gotta cut that 80 number in Georgia, so if there's not enough of them left, they're gonna get culled. And other people too, I don't know. I think DCs would be immune, but we'll, you know, this is kind of stuff that they're posted, so we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Just along those lines, the cuts are so bad, they're gonna cut their district office in Griffin. Dennis Brooks told me at a meeting we were at the other day. So come August, they won't even have an office.
Oh, yeah, they're relocating our area office
Yeah.
from Griffin, they're taking that away, and they're having to shuffle people around to other offices.
Your head count may go up then, they're gonna just shift them around.
I don't know, we got a couple of seats, and bring them on.
Any more questions or any comments on the GACD? If not, Ricky, looks like you got
Okay.
soil and water.
Yeah, we got a lot to discuss today, so I'll try to keep it within the time limit, but we got a lot to discuss, okay? No changes we can tell in the district allotments for FY 2026. Commission had about 150K added for watershed dam maintenance. And we do appreciate our, Gilbert County delegation went down there and one of their priorities that they made for the Farm Bureau and it was added for watershed dam maintenance. That helps us out a great deal because maintenance is one of the things that we need besides whatever we do on dams. We need some money on maintenance to maintain it. And that's from cutting trees and everything like that. And 100K for the feral hog pilot program. That's about all we know about that. Now, here's interesting. And all this is gonna have to do with money, so we just, talk about Murray County and our bus for NRCW, because y'all are the sponsor of the bus that goes there. Had a contact with Tim Wright, which is their new superintendent over there in Murray County. Last year we didn't have a Murray County student on that bus. And so he has told me this year that we have to have a Murray County student on that bus or they won't be willing to sponsor or send a bus down there. So we have increased our promotion in Murray County a great deal. I've been in Murray County once at North Murray High School, and I'm going tomorrow. Again, North Murray, I'll be meeting with the Murray County 4-H at the end of the month. So we are really putting our, and hopefully we'll also get to Murray County High School, but we are increasing our presence in Murray County tremendously to get this going. Let me talk another thing about that. Limestone, right now in RCW, we have $275 bank at ABAC for sponsorship in RCW. The cost per student this year is gonna be $375, okay? That is per student, that'll have to come out of the actual district budget. We need to think about that, because I am promoting real heavy. We're probably gonna have maybe more than one student. So just keep that in mind. Also, we've got one district that, if they see that they can't meet that student ratio, goes to their local farm bureau for those funds too. Keep that in mind. We're gonna have to ask, that's a great part of the budget. Just talked about the 10% on the hog program. We've taken that out of y'all's budget. Let's see if there's anything, one big thing we need to, that's very important about this Murray County along with the NRCW, we don't have any Murray County supervisors as of now. Of the lost Dr. Lawrence. So if you know of somebody in Murray County, we need to be recruiting for both a appointed and elected position in Murray County. If you've got friends, neighbors, or anybody over that way, keep that in mind and encourage them to have an appointed and elected position. Either one of those positions we'll have to have 3 people nominated for them. Then they'll both, the appointed and the elected will be appointed until the elected person will actually go into election next time there's election.
That'll be coming up 2026, right?
2026, yes, if we get somebody.
I had the same thing in Pickens County. I don't know if Jerry's gonna do it anymore or not, but, I think he's elected.
He is elected, yes.
We're gonna have, I'll have to have another discussion with him. He's not gonna do it. We'll just try to find somebody.
Find somebody for that.
That'll run the election.
But when I talked to John Lothridge, he definitely would not want to do the elected. He kind of hinted around to that. But if you're talking to him, maybe talk document to be the appointed one. We do need to have representation from Murray County. And then-
We need somebody to keep.
And I heard you mention Jimmy's daughter, well, you know, Jimmy was elected, so maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, I had heard that she was interested, so I don't have a contact for her, but I can try to follow up.
Daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law, my bad.
Can you do it as a write-in? If you got a slot already on the ballot for that?
You know, at some point, somebody mentioned that the governor could actually appoint the
Well,
elected
that's-
person
That's what the,
until the time to vote.
yeah, that's what the governor does. On the elected position, if you appointed somebody for elected position, that has to go to the governor. Governor has to sign it, and then that person can do that position up until the next election. I will let you know
That's
that,
just to fill in an empty slot.
that's just to fill in an empty slot, that's all it is. That same person still has to run for election, okay? If, it does take a long time to get the governor to appoint one. But, I mean, you can appoint them then, that the governor appointed the elected one, and then, you have the appointed position. All it takes on the appointed position is just for us to get 3 names from Murray County. Murray County will come back with you'll have like 3 possible good candidates, and then y'all can submit the candidate you prefer to our board, our state board, and they'll come back with an appointed position. And that person can be appointed. Anybody have any questions about that? We're really pushing hard in Murray County, okay? Because that's gonna help us out a great deal with getting the bus and everything else that we need from over there. While we're doing that, now we get down to the quick. And that's gonna be, that your money has to be spent by this meeting that you have. The bus will cost us, if we get a Murray County person on that bus, it's gonna cost us around $1,800.
So it's gonna be less than it was?
Less
last
it was last year, which really surprised me. I think it may have to be a fuel cost thing, because they're not charging us, well, I expect it to be at least the same or more.
Right.
But now y'all will have to approve that. At the present time.
What happens if we don't find anybody? You gonna move to Murray County and we'll send you as a student?
We don't find anybody, we're gonna be sucking wind, but that's all right.
We'll find somebody.
Yeah, we'll find somebody, or we'll find a bus, we'll find something. But as of right now, by using the 10%, y'all have $4,514.23. And I'll let y'all decide how you're gonna vote on the bus.
That's after the 10%?
Yeah, that's actually the 10%.
I would recommend we use the state funds. I mean, we're always, at the last minute, coming up with things to do on the state funds, and then any other thing, we can use our regular funds if we need to do it. So do I hear a motion to use state funds for the bus?
I'll say that. We gotta get some kids to go.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the main.
Attendance is down.
Are y'all also using your state funds to cover the registration cost, that $375 per student?
Yeah, let me tell you, let me go with that after I take the $1,600.
I'm jumping ahead, aren't I?
No, that's all right, that's all right. You just help me keep a rolling total.
Is this, for this year's, or when we get the new one, in July?
You get the new one in July 1.
That's what I was thinking.
So as of now, your budget goes down to $2,714.23. You might want to put at least 2 sponsorships of students in there, at least 2. Because probably more than that, but we'll just say 2 or however many y'all.
How many kids?
But it's $375 per student.
How many kids we sent last year?
0.
Right, so how many are we looking to trying to send this time? 2, 3, 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't we use a Matt's bus? So, are you using a full-size school bus?
No,
or
they
full-
pick up all along the way.
They pick up on the way.
Yeah.
And then we get some money coming back.
Yeah, that's where you get money coming back.
Yeah, yeah.
Because see, you start here, we actually start in Dalton, we go from there, we got a Cartersville stop, we got a Metro Atlanta stop, I mean, he picks up the whole 9 yards down the way.
I mean, bus and bus driver stays down there for the week, am I right?
Y'all, this one does.
This one.
We also have, similar bus comes out of Towns County, that bus driver does not stay, he just transfers. So you got 2 buses coming from different parts of the state, coming straight down through to the state.
What does he do, deliver the kids that go home and come back?
Yes, he chooses to do that. And he charges us less money. I won't tell you how much. That's fine.
Well, you don't have to pay the room and board.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say let's put in for 3, and then, you know, if we don't, we still have the money left on.
Okay.
We'll know.
All right, cause y'all do have some money banked.
Okay, I got 275 back.
So if y'all go with 3, that would just be $850. We've got a vote. I bet. We had.
Anybody else got
Let y'all
any
vote.
comments on that? And if we got more, come back or whatever. Your motion to approve the 3,
I'll make a motion.
Second.
all in favor, aye?
Let me tell you what y'all have now.
If somebody wants to go, I don't want them money to be an option, we'll figure out, we'll find the funds.
Yeah.
Farm Bureau.
Yeah, that's, yeah, we got a Farm Bureau representation in this room. And that's what happens is in some districts where they have a lot to go and, yeah, the Farm Bureau pick up. Now, as of now, you have $1,864.23.
Say that number again?
$1,864.23.
I put it on red and let's just roll it off. Double it or nothing.
We're the red.
So that's gotta be spent by June 31st?
No, sir, it's gotta be spent by April 25th.
If we did 4 going down, can we bank then some for next year if we?
You can always bank it if you need here. But it's up to y'all, I can't tell you what to do.
All right, what else we got coming up that we need to?
We don't have
Do
anything.
y'all have any projects in your counties that you wanna fund? I did get an email from Rollins Jolly. He was looking to see if y'all did anything with invasive plant removal, cause there's a big patch of kudzu that he was trying to address, with herbicide. So if y'all want to put it towards that, you can, it's up to y'all. I know what y'all have to put towards it, it would just be a fraction of what it would cost for him to get a contractor out there to do all that kudzu removal, but it's just something that was brought to y'all if y'all wanna consider that.
I know Trey always has a project, he's not here today.
Are there any things $800 can do on a dam? Or if really it's just nothing?
I don't know what's needed in those dams.
$800 on dams is
Not much.
roughly, but you talk about $1 million renovation on a dam. When you start renovating dam, it's $1 million.
There was that project Trey brought up at y'all's February meeting that was in the city of Varnell. It was about, restoring, they call it a dam, but it's not a watershed dam. It's an old mill or something like that. And they were trying to restore the creek back to its natural
Prager's Mill.
ecosystem. So if y'all want
Was
to
it
put.
Raiders or was it somewhere
No,
else?
it was Prager's Mill, it was on, Caholla Creek.
Is that a public place or private?
Is that the story?
Yeah, it sounded like it was public, like it
I
was.
thought
owned
it
by
was
the
a
city.
county park or something.
Yeah, they got several different agencies looking at it, and
Well, that's Whitfield County.
yeah, I know. I'm doing all I can do. The county's big, I got a lot of stuff to do.
A lot of
I
things to
got a lot
cover.
of constituents I'm working with. There's 100,000 of us.
Well, William and I got 280,000.
You know, I can't help y'all are out of control. Can't control your border.
Can't shut the doors over there.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, they have a lot of things that, I've been to a couple of
Yeah, but
things there, but I don't know who owns them.
You can ask Trey, since he seemed to be the one that was, just give him a shout, said it's $800-something. Does that make sense going there? Is there something else? I don't know of anything at the schools with,
Might do some there, and then book the rest of it on getting kids. My thought on if you get one kid to go, you're gonna get 3 or 4.
Well, you gotta get out there. Yeah, they're gonna go as a team.
They're gonna go as a team.
They're gonna go as a
so
team.
That's, just one out of the mix, that's very seldom that you'll get just one. They'll be their buddies, they'll wanna go together.
And it may shock us, since we're promoting it so hard, it may really shock us.
Some districts offer a scholarship at NRCW, so it would be the Limestone Valley Conservation District Scholarship. If y'all have students from Murray and the rest of your counties in the district, y'all could do that. Put your $800 or whatever toward that, but then that would, hypothetically, y'all get 10 students that sign up for NRCW, then you wouldn't necessarily have that money to give unless you decide, if that were the case, you decide to fund that from your local funds.
But then let me add a caveat to that. There is one district that, does a scholarship, but they give to the person in that district that scores the highest on the test score at NRCW.
Right.
we have one guy.
But we had a couple one year though that was out of Gilbert County.
Yeah, they won.
They won the thing.
Well, so they give $6,500 worth of scholarships away at NRCW. And I mean, the Gilbert County guy won it.
Well, we're not gonna meet before this money has to be spent, so I would like if Jena and Ricky and anybody else that can think of things, let Jena get back to us with ideas or quick, say, hey, here's what we do.
They just going, you ain't looking but a few more days.
For sense of simplicity, you were.
Yes, go ahead.
For sense of simplicity, do y'all want to say, put your state funds towards however many students you get to attend NRCW? If y'all do get more than one, put it towards the rest of your state funds towards a Limestone Valley scholarship at NRCW. And as a backup plan, in case y'all get more students and you don't have funds left over for the scholarship, would y'all wanna do local funds towards the scholarship? It don't have to be much, it can be 500 or whatever y'all want. That way you at least have a plan for this rest of your state funds.
Yeah, it's a plan, I'm okay with that.
Sounds good.
You move to second? I'll make a move to that.
All in favor, aye?
Okay, we're gonna put in for 3 and then we'll. Let me use my little calculator again. This be like, $1,489.23. You got all 3 sponsors. Will be left over if you don't, any others that you might have.
Okay, my thoughts would be to, if we got that left over, then nobody use it, can we go ahead and then bank it for next year?
You can, bank next year.
What problems do we have if we do that?
Don't have a problem, because you'll have, you also, this is something y'all don't do, but other districts do. You can bank with the Limestone Valley RC&D.
Okay.
We have districts that do that, bank their money for scholarships they may give away in the fall. RC&D is very open to that.
Why don't we split it, do half of it, RC&D? Since Rob's gonna be giving the report here in a minute, because, Steven's not here, so Rob might have to do the report.
So, you know, if you want to put it in form of motion, anything you don't use for NRCW, you can bank with NRC. Limestone, that,
RC&D.
I have to put that to a vote.
What's the people's thoughts on scholarships to,
How much do you use the money somewhere? I know we don't know where we're gonna get it all, but we wanna do some good with what's there.
Like I say, we're fixing to get Gilmer County High School real quick, too, about the motor. So we may have more than one skip come out of there too.
yeah, I'm gonna say, how many you think you can come up?
I'm gonna really get after it on Monday when we get back. Usually what I've had in the past is kind of what you guys said. If you usually get two or three that'll go if they're going. The only thing I was telling Ricky we run into is, it seems like their summers get shorter and they get so much crammed. It's just where their schedule work. We've had several kids over the years that have gotten scholarships down there, and that's a great program. And several of them ended up at ABAC from being down there.
Yeah, my son's down there because of that.
I think helping kids is
I
great.
like to look at it and just try to say if we can't get 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
Looking at for the, to go down there, cause it is, I did an abbreviated state one time, way back, and I enjoyed it.
Abbreviated.
Don't ask me.
I know. He's already shared that story, but since I'm a alumni, so.
Well, I mean, I may be the only one that graduated in 3 days.
Yeah,
So, yeah, you gotta look at it that way.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah, I did.
They just want you out of there.
Okay, I think that's all for us. Anything back under the old business was just the pipe contract and NRCW on the bus. But, I think that's all we have.
Ricky, before you get going, you handed me this, what do we do?
This is just, they're gonna ask you for, your check information, because they want a direct deposit. Anything they deal with Limestone Valley, they wanna be able to do direct deposit.
Are they gonna send me something to fill out, to send them a?
Yes.
I kinda hate to give the,
No, you want, we'll let you give directly.
it said it expires March 31st, 2025.
Yeah.
We're ahead of it, but, okay.
You'd have to get is that model farm account that goes in?
It don't say. It just says, the state of Georgia is replacing its current enterprise resource planning, which is ERP system, with the next generation, next gen ERP. This new cloud-based software solution will be tailored to the state's new remote workforce and offer streamlined paperless processing procedures. Next gen will also offer more functionalities, like online vendor bill pay.
Do we have?
I don't.
We don't get,
Y'all don't get nothing from the state, so I don't.
No.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all ours comes from NRCS
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
from,
Or from the state local funds, but that's, I mean, that's where we put it in for y'all. It's
but,
not directly to y'all.
but that's paying a bill. isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, bill payment, yeah.
Yeah.
So it, yeah, I don't
No,
know.
I don't.
Unless it's convention or something that, no.
No,
We use our own funds on it.
I'll just sit on
So,
it.
yeah, just sit on it.
I thought I cut that thing off.
But that's it for us.
Okay.
I just got a quick question. I don't wanna prolong things, but I just wanna make sure I understand for the minutes. So the motion y'all made earlier was to handle the remainder of y'all's state funds to go towards NRCW registration first, however many students you might get. Whatever's left over in your state funds will go towards that scholarship for students that are there. And then if y'all don't have anything left in your state funds, y'all will fund a scholarship from your local funds?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Didn't specify amount, you know, we'll come up with some.
Okay.
Okay, Limestone Valley RC&D, I don't guess anybody have any
Steven's not here.
Well, like I said, you're the VP over there.
Yeah, they say that. I don't know when we're gonna have a meeting, but yeah.
Okay. All righty, we'll go on down to, Mr. Holden.
You wanna start? Sure. The Calhoun field office, we had 39 Keeter contracts that got, or applications that got approved. We're about halfway done, getting them signed and scanned in. We have, our next deadline is May 2nd, to have everything scanned in from every approval. And, we also have CSPs that we're working on, they have to be ranked by that day too, May 2nd. So that's our next big deadline. And we don't know if they're gonna get any more approvals or not. They took away the IRA funding for this year, so we're seeing a lot less approvals than last year. As far as the job cuts, we have no idea what's going on. Nobody tells us anything. But, as soon as we find out something, we'll let you guys know what's going on.
On my end, I got 15 funded, which is not what I was looking for, but I'll take what I can get, I guess. Well, I've got the same deadline, Shaun, we'll be working towards it. We'll see what happens, I guess. I wanted to end on a good note. I know North Murray County, I got a phone call from Paul Little, the ag teacher there. They call it land judging now, I've always known it as soil judging. The kids there won at the state level, and they're going to nationals in Oklahoma on April 22nd.
That's great.
Good job.
What county did you say?
North Murray High School. And, that's all I've got. Oh, actually, no, I got one more thing. Rob, I got, Mike finished a couple of nutrient management plans, so he's ready to get paid. I've got
Okay.
a bill for that.
Don't leave like that, you check. What are you doing in the morning? Oh, Mike Munn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, extension, any reports on the extension, sir?
Let me just say, it's a sister agency, the NRCS. If y'all are having any dealings with them lately, be patient with those folks. Like they said in their reports, they're just, they don't help from one day to the next, what's coming into them, so be patient.
No, they're trying to go to the state.
No, I mean NRCS.
Oh, okay, what about UGA?
No, that ain't getting anything, Frank.
Okay.
Just putting in work for NRCS. I'll tell those guys.
I did want to mention one thing from Stephen Bontekoe at Limestone Valley RC&D. The CUSA Summit 2025 is going to be April 23rd at Berry College in Rome. So it's going to be just presentations and just a conference that day about everything related to the Coosa River Basin. So if y'all are interested in that, I can forward y'all the email. It's free to attend and registration's open now. Again, it's April 23rd.
Okay, old business, we got, the bus, I guess already taken care of. New business,
So this is y'all's memorandum of understanding. It's just signing it that you're joining the GACD Hog program.
I think we've already approved it, so all we gotta do is sign it. Well, that never was in banking, so they don't, a memorandum of understanding. In other words, we're gonna close you down. On a sad note, and I'll bring it up, of course, all of you know, we lost David since the last meeting. He'd been sick, and then Miss Diane Paul's wife passed away. David, out of our account, I would recommend that, we send a check and we will make it to whatever we discussed, to the, his goes to the First Baptist Church of Chatsworth, and, in honor of memory of David, and then do one for Miss Diane, for Paul, and, I think yours was the church also, and something else, what else?
The pet rescue.
Yeah,
Homeward bound pet rescue.
And First Baptist
Church.
Well,
Not Chatsworth.
well, this probably is the church.
Yeah, it is Chatsworth. And I will send those donations. Do I hear a motion to do that and the amount? What do y'all? 100, 200?
100 apiece.
That's fine. And that'll come out of our general account. I think I got some checks too.
Okay,
I'll double check if I don't.
all right.
Thank y'all.
And I'll make a move.
Got a motion, the second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any other business that, should become before us, anybody's think of? We gotta find a couple of representatives out of Murray.
Kimberly, did you have anything, or you just listening and watching?
I'm just here just to gather information and learn what you guys do. I've learned a lot today.
Well, we're still trying to figure out what.
I mean, it seems like you're all over. You're like feral hog catching. You might be into kudzu removal, but you also are dealing with dams. And then, you know, you're protecting the water basin. And so there's a lot you guys do. And I'm learning a lot from this experience. Thank you for having me.
I guess the one that challenges us the most, just for information, is the dams. We have 64 in our district, so they,
Yeah.
20 Kimberly and Gilmer County
County.
alone.
yeah. Gilmer, Pickens, and Cherokee has them all. Got one in, no, we don't even have one in Whitfield, do we?
We got 4, but Dalton Utilities take care of one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we only got one on our list.
And none in Murray County.
Okay.
And then most of them are in Cherokee, Gilmer, and Pickens, I guess.
Yeah. But, and when I say that, at times they give us problems, other times they don't.
At what point do you all decide that a dam is required or necessary for, I mean, is that,
Well, it's statewide, that comes
Okay.
from the NRCS, they do, how many of y'all do one a year?
Do yearly inspections.
Well, they do the yearly inspection, but they rehab one probably a year, and the average cost is $1 million, so about 365 years, we'll get them all redone. So, you know, it's,
We're kind of, I guess we're over the dams, but we have no money.
We have
to do
no
anything
money.
with them. So we will get reports from Safe Dams out of the state of Georgia saying this dam, number 4, in this county is in need of repair, it's, you know, send pictures, but there's no money. We have no money in our, you know, and we lobby for it, but they might issue, I don't know, very little. They categorize the dams too. Like category 1 means, some of these dams are category 1, which means that there was a failure to be loss of life. Am I correct, guys? Am I speaking out of turn? Is that right? And then a lot of our dams are not category 1. So category 1 dams get noticed the priority for fixed. But Gilmer County has been really good about, I can't remember how many dams we have, but the city, maybe of Gilmer County, is taking care of the dams that
No,
fall
it's
in that.
county.
No,
County?
not the city.
Not the South, my bad. I was wrong.
Let me tell you,
Yeah,
Gilmer County takes care of 20 dams.
Gilmer County does a great job. We couldn't get that corporation out of Pickens County when we had.
Yeah.
When we had Rob there.
You need better representation. The last rehab, Kimberly, that we did here was Ellijay #1 on the Ellijay River, and it was it was right at $2 million
Yeah.
to rehab that dam, and that was about 6 years ago, I guess.
That was when, who was it, Mr. Fuller? What was his name? It was over the dams then. It's, He passed away.
He passed away, yeah, he started dealing with it, give you a heart attack, wow, yeah, I can't remember his name,
Anyway,
Fuller.
we spent a lot of our time.
Fuller was his
Fuller.
name,
Yeah.
not Fuller, Fuller was his name. Yeah. But anyway, any other things? If not, do you hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye.